Hey everyone, SkyRC83 here doing a comparison of the version 2 Arrma Kraton EXB and the newest version 6 Arrma Kraton BLX. These are great trucks. Let's see which is the better value. If you're a subscriber, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. The Arrma Kraton is also my personal favorite basher. I've had many of them, and these are the newest ones on the market. So these two trucks are very similarly priced, except that the EXB is $100 more. This sells for $699, whereas this sells for $599. And let's see if that $100 difference is really worth it. In addition to comparing the value of these, I think it'd be just good to compare the differences in general. This has some upgrades on it that even the EXB doesn't have, and the EXB has some things that this doesn't have. So let's look at the differences. So one big difference here is that the standard EXB comes with the clipped body with these cotter pins, as all Arrmas have in the past, pretty much. This new version comes with a different setup, somewhat like the Traxxas system, where you've got a clipless body system that these two buttons push in and it takes off the body like that. When you put it back on, that should be a lot easier. I appreciate this because I know that taking off pins, snapping these little tags that hold the clip in are a common occurrence, as is trying to squeeze in the clip sometimes if you tape the body and it's a little tight. So just to say, this top is going to take some getting used to in terms of how it comes off. When you put it on, actually, you have to kind of be careful to line it up right. Maybe getting some practice with it will help, but when you take it off, it's actually kind of tricky. So it kind of sticks a little. So maybe the Traxxas people will know that that's something you kind of get used to and you know just where to put your hands, but at first I'm not seeing it as quick release as I thought. Let's look at the weight just to see kind of if one's heavier than the other. All right, so let's look at the weight of the EXB first. I've brought it back to stock. There shouldn't be anything different on it except these plastic pieces here, which shouldn't weigh too much. Let's see what it weighs. Okay, looks like 12 pounds, 9.2 ounces. Now let's try the V6. All right, now for the V6, I would assume this would be lighter, but we'll see. Very slightly lighter, 12 pounds, 8.1 ounces. You know, this is heavier than I thought though, so it's only got a very slight advantage, like about 1 ounce. All right, so you're pretty good at telling which one looks the best. You tell me, your first impression, which one of these two looks the best? Impression means like your first judgment. Like, or your first, what first strikes you about these trucks? Like, what do you think when you first saw them, which looked the best?
I like this one because it's more colorful and more clean.
That is true, yeah.
And new ones can probably like move better. So I think this one still.
All right, cool. Anything else about it that you like?
It's brighter, and if you ever lost it, you would probably have a better chance of finding it.
That's true. All right, so let's look under the hood of both trucks and try to point out some differences. So they've really bulked this one up to try to match the EXB. You can see these two shock towers, they split in the middle just like the EXB does, except that this one has that old style roll cage. This one doesn't. Instead it has it in the body, which I like. It's also got better protection because of those clipless body mounts here, where it's very easy to wear on the truck from the shock towers themselves. Looks like it's got some built-in protection, so that's nice. So the advantage here goes to this one with the easier access center diff. They both now have limited slip center differentials, as well as the same front and rear differentials, those GP4 diffs. So that used to be, in my opinion, an advantage to the EXB. Some people don't like them, but they're tougher. I think they're better. It's limited slip now. So there's one advantage that this has leveled up to this EXB's status here. So another way that these differ, though, is the EXB has the advantage on the diff bulkheads. These are stuck with the standard plastic ones, front and rear, whereas this has these nice anodized aluminum diff cover bulkheads, front and rear. I think that's a huge advantage. I did a video recently showing why these are necessary. If you haven't seen that, please check it out. So another advantage that the EXB has is it has a little better shock towers themselves. So you can see here by looking at the Arrma website, these EXB shock towers come with 7075 T6 aluminum, which is a stronger metal than what comes on the V6. They're also better looking with this red anodized metal that comes front and back. So they both have the same EXB bumper now, which is an improvement. They have the same 7075 chassis, EXB chassis, which is a huge improvement on the version 6. You can see here on the bottom, the version 6 now comes with a aluminum chassis skid plate that the EXB doesn't even come with. The version 6 has some integrated mud guards that come with the side guard of the chassis that's deeper. So you can see here it looks a little better, whereas this one's separated, it's thinner, narrower, and you have to remove these in order to get to the steering plate there. They both now have the better servo, which is the Spektrum 665 servo, and they both now have the servo saver that's good. So far these are very equivalent trucks, with some advantages going to this one and some to this. The battery strap, here the version 6 takes the win. Look how much thicker and less easy to break this is compared to this old thin Velcro. They both have the same electronics. The version 6 though comes with a newly updated firmware, which is supposed to make this one faster. We'll see if that's true on a speed test. However, it's not impossible to recreate that firmware using one of these here, Spektrum Programmer. And once you do that, you can set this one up to be the same new updated firmware as that one. The shocks look the same, red here and black, but they both have that emulsion cap on the top. The version 6 does not have the same chassis braces, aluminum chassis. These come with plastic and these come with aluminum, so that's a better advantage there. In the rear, they both now have this wing mount that I really like, where it's got 4 screws instead of 2 here. This helps a lot when you land on the wing and break things, and you snap these bolts potentially off. So props to Arrma for giving us this one on the BLX as well. So if you look here at the parts on the EXB that come different from the version 6, you can see that overall they all add up to $343.94. This includes the rear brace and the front brace, the front and rear shock towers that are different from the version 6, as well as the stronger aluminum gearbox that are $100 each. And if you were to try to do the same thing with the version 6, you could add up all the parts like so, including the body clip mounts, which seem to come all separately. Now, of course, there are other websites you can use that might sell these things cheaper. I won't mention the name so that that site doesn't get blown up and I can still get my orders on time. But if you're going to go through Arrma in this case and get the factory parts separately, this adds up pretty quickly as well. Not quite as high as the EXB, but the total, as you can see, comes to $217.87. And so if you take those two totals, the 343.94 of the EXB minus the 217.87 of the version 6, you get a total of $126.07. So similar to the price difference of these two trucks. So given that, it seems to boil down to whether you prefer the strength and durability of the aluminum added parts on the EXB, or whether you prefer some of the new additions of the version 6, including the visual appearance, clipless body mounts, and other new features. I'm gonna try mounting it to this. Hopefully that works. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I can get the top speed of this EXB here. They both have a 16-tooth pinion. Alright, good. It's picking up the speed. So let's give it a test and see how it does. It's about 27 degrees outside, so it may affect the top speed. They both have the same battery in them. 6L 100C. Whoa! Very nice. .5 here. So that is the time to beat. So here we go with the V6. Moment of truth. 62.7. Now this is in 27-degree weather. It might be a little faster when it's warmer, so that's part of it. That's about 1 mile an hour faster than the EXB. Not tons, but still pretty good. So for those of you who have stuck through this video till the end, thank you. I know this was sort of a long video, sorry about that, but there was so much to say. As I said in the beginning, these are both really good trucks, so you're not going to go wrong with either. And they're really close in a lot of ways. So when thinking about the value of these two trucks, although there was only about a little over $100 difference if you were to upgrade a truck with either of these two components, the types of components that you're likely to want to upgrade to are probably going to be the ones on this. When I think of what I would upgrade a truck with, especially one that I do a lot of bashing with, it's probably going to be shock towers, chassis braces, or aluminum bulkheads. And that's the kind of stuff you're going to get on this. A tougher truck all around with more durable parts. This, on the other hand, has some cool features. You're less likely to kind of want to upgrade to those. If you do, I just recommend buying this truck. As far as which is faster, you saw it was sort of a negligible difference. But one thing I did actually notice outside of the top speed is this one is punchier. And that's actually probably with a lower punch setting on the ESC. So if I were to do that with this, it would really be easy to wheelie and do backflips. So I still can try updating the ESC on this with this programmer. If you'd like to see a video on maybe the before and after of this, let me know in the comments and maybe that would be worth a shot. Yeah guys, overall this was a cool comparison. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to check out that unboxing video of this if you want to see more content on the V6. Until next time, take care.